Morning all. Yep, going to start a couple of minutes as per normal. Have a pitful day indeed. Yeah, I'm going to do that in a minute, Peter. I've got that stuff, no problem. Just going to do that 8 past 9. Okay, I'll pass. Let's get started. Just going to start off with the fact that Friday and Saturday there's no classes or trading room or anything like that. It's Youth Day, so it's going to be Monday to Thursday as regards ourselves in the trading room, and the classes as per normal, platform training or whatever will go through as normal. I've been asked to mention this to you. Not about the trading room, the classes as well, so you're aware of it. So no Friday or Saturday classes, they'll resume on Monday, just so you know. Okay, right. It was mentioned, Pietro, just WhatsApp me this morning. So slip the mic in here. About the trade ideas. It was stopped out the CAD CHF. My comment that if you see the stop loss is 68.24. Just going to send them out quickly. Just give me a moment. Thing we discussed earlier on, they've got to put it together, and I've got to put it on there. Okay. Okay, they've been posted. Okay. Yeah, start off with this guy here. You should have been stopped out. As you see, the stop loss at 68.24. It didn't get there. It's not pretty. I get that. When was it sell at 67.45? It's literally 30 pips in the red. It's a bit of a pitless trade, Mr. Marcus. But having said that, you should have been stopped out. 68.24 was, I'm on the day, yeah. 68, right about this sort of level here, was the stop loss, which hasn't been reached since, well, March, basically. So I don't know how you got stopped out. I hope you weren't margin calling horrible like that. But in theory, if you weren't margin calling, you should still be in that trade. And I'm not giving up on it. I just think you've got your strategy, goes up and down. Maybe it'll pan out in the end. Maybe not. I don't know. But I'm in that one and I'm sticking with it. My trade, my open trades aren't pretty at the moment. They're in red, but it's within the strategy, within the risk, what's called the risk profile, which I'm willing to take. So I'm holding on to. So it might not look pretty at the moment, but the reds might become blue. Who knows? As I say, we can discuss the stuff like calculators and all the other stuff we can control. What happens to the market, obviously, we can't. As I mentioned many times, some of it is just a little bit beyond understanding. I think probably more emotional moves or whatever. But I'm still in that. I'm sticking with it. So
incoming mail.
Good morning, Mandla. I'm still in that trade. It's the beg your pardon. NZD-CAD. Let's just look at those there. Okay. NZD-CAD. Well, that was going way back. I remember NZD-CAD. That was obviously a few days ago because I'm not appearing there. NZD-CAD. We'll look at that one in the meantime. NZD-CAD. That should have been a short. Don't know if it stopped out or what that was. Where was it? Just give me a second. NZD. Well, I haven't got it down here, so where you got that one from? And I'm going 5th of June. Let's try a bit further up. When was this sent out? We're going back. No, I don't remember that one at all. I'm not being sent out by, well, it's not my trade anyway. So I don't know quite what happened there, but that wasn't the trade that I don't know where you got that one from. I got somebody else. But well, this month it's 12 days old. It wasn't sent out, so I don't know about that one. But you shouldn't have been buying it. Shouldn't have been shorting it. If you sold it there, with a stop loss there, you would have been out. Yeah, but that wouldn't have been the correct trade. Rather short the rally. But anyway, so I don't know about that one. I think the CAD says she'll turn around. What's the other one? AUD CAD. When was that sent out? Here we are. 8th of June, stop loss 89.90. Let's do this one first, get it up here so it's more clear. AUD CAD. What was that? Sell at 88.98. Bloody hell, what you mean? 89.90. Okay, why that occurred? Bit strange, to be honest. The idea was it was in the sell zone. I remember that the Australian dollar did have a bit of a jump before the signal was sent due to increase in interest rate, which came in unexpectedly. Obviously, markets like humans don't like the unexpected. I'll look at chat line in a minute. I'm looking at the chart. Someone's posted that keeping an eye on loan. And for some reason, it popped above into the neutral zone 50. Why that gained some strength, I have to be honest, I don't know. The Canadian has been reasonable on the oil. So all right, it stopped out. If we go back in time, would I have shorted? I would short it again. I would still say that's a sell. As it turned out, it jumped up. So I can't give you an intelligent reason why that happened. Sorry about that. The NZD CAD, was not called this one. Was it sent on the, maybe sent on the quick trade? Just get
yes, Roger, sorry, but it was sent out on the group on Friday.
On the group, CAD, NZD CAD.
Yeah.
Oh, yes. That's got it now. Beg your pardon. VIP guys, that didn't work out.
Incoming mail.
Okay, I'm with you now. NZD CAD.
Yes, both of those hit stop loss.
Yeah, that did, yeah. NZD CAD, when was it sent? Not when, but what price? I mean, 81.35. Yeah, okay. All right, it was going back in time, it was round about these levels. We thought, put the stop up there somewhere quite frankly, it was quite an aggressive trade down there. And unfortunately, yes, it was. Beg your pardon. Okay. Yeah. Again, a little bit surprising. I don't know where the Antipodes currency suddenly got a bit of strength there from, especially against the Canadian, which had a bit of a help from the oil price. So I don't know. I say the AUD CAD and this one, I still think there were good trades. It didn't work out. But if I went back in time, well, I don't know what I know now, I would have still said, I'd given a thumbs up for those two trades. That's why I say the calculator's got to be used, because I'll stick with the strategy. I'll stick with the idea. I was happy with those trades. I'm still happy with the reasons behind them. That's why sometimes it doesn't work out. Okay. What the reason is, that's what you're asking. I'm not sure, because nothing major came out on the NZD or the Canada or the AUD to suddenly do that. I think just buy themselves doing whatever they do. Okay.
Roger.
Yeah.
Sorry, it was that increase of the interest rate of the CAD that take the carpet out of the trade.
Good point. Talking about Aussie pretty much there. Okay, it was the increase in interest rate in the CAD. Well, that should have, in theory, if this was this a sell? Sorry, I'm just trying to get the facts right here. Give me a moment here. Well, if there's an increase in interest rate, then the wrong thing occurred, because an increase, it should have strengthened the Canadian, and the trade was a sell. So that impacts the fact that I don't know. It's a long-winded way of saying I don't know. Oil price should have helped it. Increase in interest rates in the CAD should have helped the Canadian, strengthened it. There's nothing particularly major happened on New Zealand dollar. It's clearly in the sell zone. So we don't know what we know now going back. That's still a sell. So that's the point. Yeah. I hope that makes more sense, Farley and Pietro and company. If you had the same facts at your fingertips, you'd have all gone for a sell. Okay? That's the point, why that happened. I sort of got it out in the end. Okay. Well, I don't know, laugh out loud, irritating out loud, IOL. Irritated out loud, Pietro. I think probably more closer to the truth. Okay, so let me discuss that. Okay, we've got a couple more out now. Let's just put them up here. I posted in the group as well. CAD, CAD. Just give me a moment, guys, because I had it written down here. Just want to write them down. I had to rush from the meeting to this one here. Just bear with me a second. I've got them down now. Just get these out of the way now. Let these guys in. Okay. So the signal is a sell in the CAD. The price entry 67,673. So if you took that trade in a bit of a profit as we speak, that was the trade. So if you took it there, you won. Okay. And the other one was the NZD CHF. Just go to that quickly. And that was also a sell at 55.26. It's about the same as the entry level. Those are two trades out at the moment. You can, if you like that one, you can join it now at market. Is it too late to join this one if you're not on board? You're selling at 60. No, it's 13 pips. It's too far away. No, it's going to screw up your risk reward. Your risk is going to go up. Your reward's going to go down. Your ratio is not going to be okay. I'm afraid that ship has sailed. So if you're in, fantastic. If you're not in, maybe it'll bounce to get an entry. If it doesn't bounce, don't chase it now. Okay. Any questions, guys? Morning, Anna-Marie. Any questions? You like the IOL there? Yeah. Right. So maybe you take the trades, I don't know. But yeah. It might bounce. You know how the markets go up and down, up and down. That's why I hide my trades down there. I don't like looking all the time. You got your strategy, stick with it. But it might bounce. You might get the entry. But that's 60 entry. Not forget the 65. We're going short. Look at this one here. 73 was the entry. I'll bring up a little bit. Yeah, if we get back maybe to, if not 73, maybe 68, 69, 70. That's sort of doable. But anything 10 pips or even 8 pips or more, I'm not too keen to chase it. Maybe can pop up a little bit. We'll see. 15-minute doing. Is any movement back up on this one? Yeah, it might pop up a bit, a little bit higher up to get it. See if that happens. But chasing on it's up to you. 10 pips. I don't mind a chasing 10 pips if you know it's about a 200 pips stop or something. Another 10 pips won't hurt, but the stop loss isn't that far away. It's only reasonable way away, 90 pips away to be fair. But yeah, it's up to you. But anyway, you work it out for yourself. Okay, we'll move on because those two have been sent out. You know about those. No point going too much on it. You should have received them. Another one I looked at was this particular potential of the GBP CHF. Read it before. If you modified stop loss, you'd have been stopped out in the profit. If you didn't, well, you wouldn't have been smiling because it didn't hit the TP, hit the target, and then it turned around and whatever reason it popped up again. So again, good reason why we try to modify SLs to protect profit. Remember, your adage, don't turn a winner into a loser. Anyway, so bottom line on the daily charts popped up again, and some guys thought it might reach a little bit higher up to this level here, around the 1.14 mark before selling it. I don't know about you guys, but I think I'm not so sure that's going to happen. When we discussed it this morning, the strategy room was about 1.13, 61, 62, something like that. Oh, excuse me, on the sell, not on the buy, remember, on the bid. About 7-8 pips above that. I'm not sure it's going to spring back up again. I don't know how you guys feel, but if you like it, we can take a trade on it. Like, put it up anyway, see what you guys think. Don't forget, you've got enough free margin, guys. However great you think the trade is, if you haven't got enough free margin, let your other trades run. You can't do it. It's too close. Above these guys here. That's fine. Only 60 pips away, and it was there back in January. So that's about 4.5 months ago. Take the TP down. Make it down here. That'll do. Plenty of TP. Plenty. I'll take it here. 1.1245. Ask me what. Doing a pending order. You've got no difference between a pending order and a market order. Everyone says, does exact market mean market execution? That's when the person trade with absolutely no knowledge, and that worries me. Well, clearly it's the same thing. Okay, so anybody like that trade? And remember, it wasn't at the stop loss area till January. They won't get there, but I'm just saying for protection areas, that's why I quite like it. Make sure you got enough margin. Normal story, guys. Most of your names seem familiar, so you should all be aware of that by now. You like it, Mr. Mundler? Like you for liking it. There we are. We're now going to become bosom buddies. Bosom buddies. Anyone else like it? You like it as well, Gerard. No problem, Solly. As long as you like the trades, that's the most important. Too late on the trades, that's even more important. Okay, quite a few guys like it. So I'm going to write that down and I'm going to post on the group. I did say if the guys in the trading room like it, particularly Brian, Gerard, and Mundler, then we'll definitely need to send it out. Right, what's it? 1.1350. Just a second. One 3 5 1 1.1417 1.1245 and it's what's 137. Give me a minute. Scroll on, didn't come up. Do it again. So just be patient with me, guys. I'm trying to post in the group in, it didn't come up. Good. Okay, right. So there it is if you want it. Guys, still having a problem with the trade. Sorry about this. It's just want to sort him out. No. Oh, most certainly we may. Oh, momentum. Okay, thanks. ADJPY. Go in the daily. I'll clear the buy zone. Don't have to spend all day looking at that one. How far away is it? 25 pips. That's a bit far. I think Wakely comes back a bit. It's up to you, but I won't be chasing it there. No. About 3, 4, 5, 6 pips above the 10 now. Yeah, it's not a problem. I think it's a little bit too distant there. Let's look at the weekly for a normal trade. Bit of resistance for a normal trade. I think I'll give that a miss. Okay. For the momentum trade, yeah, I think I'll probably try and get a better price. 25 pips a bit far away. That's my opinion anyway. Okay, sorry, you have to excuse me again, guys, once the levels. I bet I'll just go with it off the top of my head here, a bit quicker. Okay. 0.01. 720. Just essential to write all that down. Okay, sorted. Good, so that one's going to be going out just now. Can we please work out? Oh, absolutely, for sure. Right, there you are. That's the dollar CAD. What do you want to do with it? Give my opinion afterwards. I want to see what you guys think and why. Yeah, Shepard's come up with the dollar CAD. He's able to buy it or what he wants to do with it, but leave it in your hands. There's something you can discuss, and I'll give my opinion afterwards. Any comments on that one? What do you want to do it, Shepard? What's in? Can you interact? You know, what do you think? Yeah, wait on that one. Shepard, it's your idea. Can you sort of elaborate? What you said, we're looking at the dot. We've got it up there now. What do you want to do with it? Okay, I thought you said a buy. Right. Now, I think the reason why a lot of people say a buy on something because it looks a bit low. I'm not saying it's wrong, by the way. Nothing is wrong. It's just, I'm just giving an opinion here. But because it's low, it doesn't mean to say it's undervalued. It can be, and sometimes it's low because the value is correct at that low area, and it could get a little bit weaker. So, as Mandela said, Petra, I'm tend to be on my LIA as well, to be honest, just to give my opinion. And yeah, well, that's the one I was looking for. Absolutely. Okay. Right, I'm going to leave it alone. It's in the sell zone. I'd rather sell the rally if I'm going to do it at all. But I am very wary of the dollar at the moment because the critical CPI is coming out tomorrow, and then the interest rate. Now, I just want to mention how important this is. The consensus out there, majority, is there'll be no more interest rate increases from the Fed. Because the bank worries high interest rate, it's hurting the economy because people aren't buying stuff. you know, buy stuff. Clearly, then companies don't make money. You know, they sell stuff, so great jobs. That's how business works. However, you might have to rethink that. Remember, I said many times, Powell and the Eurozone Lagarde do not like spooking the market because it ties their economies. Australia came out in the unexpected, and so did Canada. But with all due respect to those two countries, they haven't got the size and they don't affect the world like Eurozone does and the Americans. So they very, very much don't like spooking the economy by doing the unexpected, but they might be forced to do it. Lagarde is going to stick with it on the Eurozone area on the hawkish policy. Let's go back to Powell, more important. Right. If the CPI is quite a bit above expectations, that's clearly inflationary, and it might not give him much of a choice. He might have to do another interest rate increase the following day, which will have a massive boost on the dollar. If he doesn't, and the CPI is not such a thing, there will be no increase in it, and he might even start talking the Q&A after 8 o'clock tomorrow, Wednesday evening. I'm talking interest, not CPI. The Q&A after interest rate decision, 8 o'clock on Wednesday evening. They might even start talking about maybe later on in the year bringing interest rates down, depending on this CPI thing. So from that point of view, I'm totally with, and that's my major reason. I'm with Gerard on that one. I'm going to avoid the dollar going into the next couple of days or so. To me, the risk is too high. It's a gamble, basically. If you come right, you make a big packet. If you don't come right, it could hurt. Well, depending where you put your stop and your volumes, I suppose. But yeah, so I'm going to leave that alone. Don't forget tomorrow, 2 o'clock, as per normal, we do it once a month, non-farms and CPI. We will be doing a CPI tomorrow. I did post it on the QT group, but I'm saying to you guys anyway, we'll be as per normal, a 2 o'clock session tomorrow, where we'll do the straddle trade and try and take advantage of any disparity or any big movements that might occur from the release of that data. Okay, hope we're all good with that. All on the same page. If not, it's important, I will repeat. Anybody not with me on that one? It is important, so don't be frightened to say I didn't quite get that. It is important. I think so. And unless you guys, I mean, never mind what the other guys think, I'm talking the trader guys, you're the elite. Are we happy to stick with gold, or do you want to do the dollar yen? Are you good with that, Shepard? Good stuff. Right, just let me send this. While you're thinking about answering that one, please send this. I think it's only going to the QT group, by the way. So just so you know that. You've got that now, I've just sent it out. Good stuff. Okay, right. Don't get this sent out to everybody, ask just the QT guys, okay? It's not just to look after them, but it's the fact that too many guys are jumping in the signals without enough money for it and they're getting margin. Okay, all right. As I said before, guys, what's the consensus? Dollar, yen, or gold? The other guys who are coming in who don't come to trade will be going with this decision we're making now. So we're going to do a democratic decision. Gold 1, yen 1. Gold 2, 3 gold. Let's see, 4 gold, 5 gold. The yen guys seem to be taking a bit of a back seat on this one. Pietro wants a dollar yen.
Incoming mail.
If you know what you're doing, but you can do the dollar yen, you can do anything you bloody like. Once you've got the straddle trade mechanics. Some people do too. I mean, is Dirk here? Yes, Dirk's here. And I think I'm right in making the assumption you've done gold and a dollar yen or euro dollar and come right on both of them. Got enough money and you understand that, no problem at all. I'm just talking about what I'm going to use tomorrow at 2 o'clock. I'm going to stick with the gold. One is getting clever here, XAU. Okay, well done. Smart ass. Brilliant. XAU, but I'll stick to the gold. Don't want to confuse people, but same thing. Yeah, you're quite right. Well done. Okay, so we'll stick with the gold for tomorrow. That's the consensus. I'll stick with it. But if you guys want to do gold and euro dollar, gold, euro, dollar, and Nasdaq, gold, euro, dollar, and you got enough money, dollar, yen, that's your choice. Obviously, that is your choice. But I'm going to use for purposes. Well, gold is unstable for now, like a lot of dollar is because we're waiting for information. But we're going to be doing a straddle trade anyway. So as long as it moves, I don't care. As long as it moves a lot in a specific direction, it'll take the buy or the sell in depending. So it's not a problem there. Gold's not been really unstable, not too bad. It's just sideways because it's very much a mover when these big economic data's come out, and it's sort of people are sitting tight, like Gerard mentioned earlier on. A lot of those things, they're waiting for this particular data. And if the data is major difference, you'll see a big reaction. And I think gold will be no different. Okay, so we'll stick with gold. Okay, so 2 o'clock, guys, please funded accounts only, not demo accounts. You will be taking someone's seat up, but that being as it may, preferably you do come in at 2, so you'll grab the seat anyway. If you come a little bit later, maybe because you know the straddle trade, you want to join a bit later to place it, you might not get a seat because there's only 100 people. I'm quite sure why. I think some Zoom rules or whatever, I don't know what it is. Anyway, the bottom line is you want to not make it there because somebody's taken the place there and only on the demo account. It's for guys with funded accounts and can actually do live the trade to make use of it, not just a sit and starer for out of academic interest and keeping somebody who actually wants to do the trade can't get in. So just bear that in mind, out of courtesy if you like. Otherwise, yeah, hope to see you. Hope to get another full house. I'm pretty sure Dirk will be there. I think you'll have to have a very big dose of COVID not to be there. Hey, Dirk. And some of the others as well, Farney and Gerard and the rest of it. Brian, I'm pretty sure I'm going to see you guys there at Mandla, hopefully, because, it's pretty good so far. So let's just hope it continues. I don't want to do Murphy's Law or commentator's curse. It's always good. That would be the one bloody time Murphy's Law kick in, but it's been pretty good. Okay, so just to recap again, 2 o'clock session tomorrow afternoon, CPI, and no session interest rates, by the way. Why is that? Not because I don't want to work at 8 o'clock, which I don't, but don't tell anybody I said that. But the real reason is because the announcement is one thing. The Q&A afterwards will move the markets. It might even move it up and down as the question answers will move markets. You don't want to be doing straddle trades. If you're in, make sure you're protected, but you don't want to be joining a dollar trading like that just as it's about to speak. But if you're in, don't see it suddenly jump out. At least protect yourself. But don't enter trades as he speaks or just before he speaks. I'm advising you strongly not to because they can jump around depending. Well, no, it's not so much the entry level. The entry level obviously depends what's going to happen just before 2:30. But what you're trying to say is above and below. I'm going to use $1 or $2 or $1 depending. I'll go over that in a minute actually. Not a bad idea. But yeah, you can do 10 pips, dollar yen. But just make sure Pietro don't get filled. Whatever you do, don't get filled before the data release. I go on about it for a reason. Let's go into that. Now, on the gold, if you're adept enough, you can do $1 above or below. If you're not quick or don't understand what the hell I'm on about properly, rather use $2, because the last thing with because dollar movement is not that big on gold. Last thing I want you guys to get filled just before and then filled on the buy, and then it plumps down the sell. Now you got you're getting both trades. That's not going to help your cause at all. So what I think might, if you understand what I'm on about, have your trade levels up by right-clicking, going to trade level, and then maybe when you enter it, maybe 5 or 6, 7 minutes before 2:30 release, put in $2. As it gets to a minute or so before release, you can just bring it down to $1 above and below. So if it does get in, it means an extra $1 per ounce. It's going to be in your favor as regards the trade. I hope you understand what I'm talking about. If you don't, stick with $2 above and below. But on the euro dollar, dollar yen or whatever, it's 10 pips as you can do. I think you shouldn't. The NAS must be 25 because of the spread. If you want to do it, you can. Anybody not have a clue what I was on about there? No answer means you do have a clue, I'm assuming, or it could mean I'm too nervous to ask. I'm not too sure about the Canadian. I'd rather use the yen or the euro, to be honest. Canadian, yeah, I'm not against it, but not that excited. It's low, but that's got nothing to do with the price of it, Gerard. Yeah, forget. I reckon do the gold or the dollar yen or whatever. That's to you, but yeah, not the dollar Swiss franc, because the Swiss franc is strong and it might not get quite the movement you want out of it. Or you could do the pound dollar. You could as well. Okay, I have no problem with that. If you want to do the pound dollar, you can as well. I think the Aussie, New Zealand, I suppose you could do that as well. Up to you. But I think Canada and Swiss, particularly Swiss franc, I wouldn't be doing those. But if that's all confusing to you, or you're not sure, you're new to it, don't get cute. Don't get smart ass now. Just stick with the gold trade. Okay. These guys have done it before and they're exploring new ideas to maximize it. That's spot on. And that's the whole idea of learning more and getting more knowledge. And they can get clever with it, but don't start running before you walk in. These guys can run a little bit, so I have no problem with that. URGBP. Well, you know, I haven't looked at that for a while, because you can clearly see that's my surprise. Clearly, I haven't looked at that for a while. Well, I don't know. Sell the rally by the look of it. Not quite sure why. Fairly hawkish stance euro. I know Germany's gone into recession, but I think pound's going to follow it soon. So I'm not quite sure why the euro is so weak against the pound. I know the euro is weak, but why particularly the pound? I don't think the pound's that bloody great. I think they're going to wake up and smell the roses soon. That economy is not so great. I think anything that's buffeting that pound is because of that horrendous inflation they got. It's over 10%, and all that. They're all pricing in more and more increase in interest rates. That's the only thing I'm thinking. Otherwise, I don't know what's making that the pound the golden boy at all. So me personally, I'm not going to touch it. I think the euro, even though it's gone into recession, a bit of a soul against it. And yeah, I think we actually get a bit of a bounce. At the moment, I wouldn't be buying it. Still sell the rally sort of aspect, but where it's sitting at the moment, I'm not sure I'd be chasing it either way. To be honest, that's my take. Anyone disagree with me? I might be wrong in this CPU, that's why I'm asking anyone disagree with me. They might come with a damn good reason to sell it or buy it. And I respect that because, yeah, that's what we're all in together to learn. That's just my take. Yeah. But I'd short the rally if I was going to do it. I don't know. And because of the pound, I think this is the pound. As I say, I think it's a bit overvalued. We shall see. I personally am going to leave that alone. Well, the currency strength at the moment, that's an interesting question. In fact, not a bad one. I put, remember, I know what Gerard means, I'll explain what he means. What currency put in the lightweight, middleweight, and heavyweight zone? That's what I think you mean. If not, just tell me. If that's what you mean, I'd put the Swiss franc in the heavyweight. I would put at the moment the euro in the lightweight. I think probably the New Zealand dollar is just lightweight as well. Yeah, Aussie is sort of, because interest rate increase, maybe the lower half of the middleweight, sort of a light middleweight if you like. Otherwise, I think the dollar and the Canadian are middleweight, but particularly the dollar, middleweight, heavy or lightweight. There's so many other factors economically that could push it into the strong zone, stick in the medium, or go into the weak zone on the dollar. I'm just going to say that's a floating weight. What do they call that? Catch weight or whatever they call it in boxing. I mean, I'm not sure. Anyway, I'll call that a floating weight on the dollar. But I put the Canada mid, and I put the pound at the moment for whatever reason, but I think it might be on low, middleweight, and the euro light, and oh yeah, Japanese yen. I think it's in the middleweight area. I think it's a little bit weaker than it should be. I think, but I think it's middleweight, but it could become a heavyweight. But at the moment, the only heavyweight I can see at the moment is Swiss franc. That's my opinion anyway. So catch weight euro dollar, sorry, catch weight dollar, euro lightweight, and then maybe NZD lightweight, and the rest middleweight. But I'm seeing a little bit of pound weakness coming down the line, a bit of yen strength coming down the line. Okay. It's struggling a little bit because it reared its head again about the Credit Suisse problem. I think it's completely gone under now, by the way. But it's always going back way in March. I mean, UBS, United Bank of Switzerland, biggest $2 trillion, that bank, $2 trillion American dollar, that's the size. I think it's only the Aramco oil companies about that size in the world. I mean, hang on, that's a lie. It's come off a bit. I think at one stage Apple was incredible. Anyway, the bottom line is that bank is the biggest in the world, and that went and did a rescue act on it. But I think just because it came out in the news, people are right a little bit emotional, the Swiss franc, but I think it's going to be sustained. So yeah. Remember, I said many times, it's not part of the Eurozone, it's independent, it's not relying on import exports, or it's famous for its cuckoo clocks, etc. It's mainly like the Cayman Islands, it's a bank. And yeah, very stable, neutral in wars, everything. So yeah, you're right on that. But I don't think it's going to continue. Okay, that's the opinion I have. Okay, good stuff. Right, let's have a look at some of the older trades. Got there, where are they again? Remember, F-stop will only open. I'm still happy with the trade. Put them up here. I'm still happy with the trade on Ford. If you got it, remember, I forgot to mention that, my mistake. You can't do shares if you've got a bonus account. I think the bonus account is a bit of a, I'm going to tell you this, it's a bit of a gimmick, that thing, anyway. But anyway, I think it lasts a month or so. But the bottom line is you can't buy or sell shares if you've got a bonus account. So you want to do shares, you've got to have a separate account. Anyway, if you're in this Ford, was doing well and it popped up a bit, I think stick with the program on it. Let's go to the NAS as we speak. And that's not part of the NAS, but we'll go to the NAS anyway. It's been a bit of a range trade the last week or so, and it's the top of the range at the moment. So unless it breaks the upside, there could be a pullback, and I think the Dow will come off as well on that basis, which means we could get some decent movement on the forward. Okay, CAD CHF. You're out of it. I think you're out of that. Oh, no, I've said this morning, will it? Yeah, I've said this morning. Okay. CAD CHF, NZD CAD or something. CAD CHF was the one on Friday. Anything happening on that one? Let's go to the 1 hour. See, I don't want to have my trades right in front of me, especially my losing trades. Yeah. It's coming off a bit as we speak, so maybe we'll come right on it, but we shall see. It's got to break through the short-term moving average there, but we might come right there. Okay. So hang on in there. The other ones who came out with GBP CHF. Uh, 51, it's popped up a little bit, but it's a bit sideways. It's a bit sideways on the hour chart. So you got your strategy in there, let it run. It's quick on the GBP CAD. It might have popped up to give those guys who listed an entry. Yeah, that's what I say. Be patient with him. If it drops down, don't chase it. You might recover to get an entry. Now it's popped up again. So the guys were sitting pretty an hour ago, now probably getting a bit frustrated. So I don't look at it all the time. You've got your strategy. Those who didn't enter it can now, because you're getting a better price from the signal. So if you missed it, you can enter now. But that's what I said before. Don't chase the trade if the ship has sailed. And that time when we came up there, and discussed it after the trade was sent out, it's about 10, 12 pips below entry. Don't chase it. Now it's popped back up again. It's giving you a chance, if you like the trade, to get a better price. So use the same stop loss TP. It means you're getting a better risk reward, and your risk amounts will be less. Okay, instead of being 115, probably about 100 rand, something like that, or 105 rand a month. What a pleasure. Hope you're with me on that one. Okay, and the other one was NZDCHF. Okay, that's popped up a little bit, but all of them a bit sideways. Just want to mention again, guys, expect that going through into tomorrow afternoon. I think even if it's not a US dollar, I think a lot of the market's going to be fairly quiet last week, actually. But I think it's going to be fairly quiet going into that. Just want you to remember that. Because the world does get affected what happens in the United States. And the two major, not overdoing it now, so I'll throw another major in. The one on the state here, guys, are coming out tomorrow and Wednesday. So I think even the yen, the pound, there's no way else might be a bit on the quiet side. Just bear that in mind. Popping up and down. Okay. As you ponder that, just give me a second to give you a little boy's room. Me. Okay. Right. Any questions, guys? Oh yes, there is a couple of things I need to put up. I don't know if any new guys are in here, but I'll put up anyway. I'll start with the dollar index. Just going to put it up for you. That's the dollar index if you don't have it. And I put the economic calendar if you don't have it. I'll put the interest or the yields on the US 10-year Treasury note. There we are. So you got all those, copy paste if you don't have it. If anyone new there doesn't have that, very important, keep it handy, minimize it, whatever on your laptop or whatever you're using, just to keep an eye on it. And I'll just put my name in as well, my details that is. Okay, that's my contact details. Please use WhatsApp. Again, only for funded accounts. If you don't have a funded account, I can't assist you. I think you're aware of it now. We do have a QT WhatsApp group, which I have. And if you've got $2.5 grand or $150, $2,500 or $150 or more, just WhatsApp me if you're not already on board with that. And I'll upload you. And you'll get to say the odd extra signal and daily updates and other stuff with interest posted, like CPIs and whatever will be posted on there for you. Okay, so there you got my details. Yeah, I'm going to wait till after CPI. I think most of the world is. So even if you go in now, I think you're going to have a bit of a quiet time of it. You know what I'm saying? You might say, sod the bloody CPI, I want to go in now. Well, can if you like, but it could be a bit snail-paced job. I think it's going to be fairly quiet. Depends on the size of the fires, I suppose. Well, I got some fires over there at the moment. Yeah, because it costs. I mean, like they had in Australia a few years ago. It was Sydney. So anyway, when you have major outbreaks of fires in Sydney, so probably I don't know. Well, anyway, it was. Because they have, you know, can get very hot and dry there. Well, there's a cost of sorting out the damage and insurance costs and all the rest of it. Yeah, I suppose it would have an influence on the market. Yeah. Well, on Canada anyway. The Canadian exchange rates and the price of the currency. World markets, not so sure. America maybe, or I don't know, I'm not so sure about Canada. World market affected, but their own market, yeah, I think so. If we've got bad fires there, yeah, probably will be, might do, I don't know. But it doesn't have much effect on the world markets. Okay, GBP/NZD. I suppose you all had the, was it 2 o'clock in the morning or whenever it was? Day before yesterday, what it was, no, I think it was Saturday morning, yeah? It was the tremor in the earthquake, hey? Anyway, GBP/NZD. Okay, you want to look at it as a sell. Now, it might be in the buy zone, but where he's coming from, he's thinking maybe it's that's when I say I mean Pietro, sorry, is thinking, is it overvalued? I personally have mentioned I think pound is overvalued. Buy zone or not, I think it's overvalued. My only worry is if you're going to sell the pound, it's overvalued. I'd rather sell it against a stronger currency. I don't think New Zealand is really, it's not the lightweight, it's certainly a light middleweight. If I'm going to sell the pound, I'd rather sell it against a stronger currency, except the dollar. I'm leaving the dollars a floating leave alone at the moment. But I'd rather sell against the yen or, I don't know, Swiss franc or even Canadian, something like that. I'm not sure I'd like to sell it against another weak currency like the NZD, especially when technically it's still in the strong zone and it's come back to support and it's the bottom of the range. So I personally, for those reasons, I would leave this alone. Do you agree with that, Pietro, or what do you feel?
Okay, no, that's fine. I agree with you there as well. That's I was just looking at it because I see it actually seems to be turning around, but I agree with you there as well. Let's just wait a little bit more and see what happens.
Okay, fair enough. Then. Okay, good stuff. If everyone else is happy with that, we'll move on. Okay, that's great. Yeah, as I mentioned, gold. We talk about gold just now. Leave it alone. Just go to the 1 hour chart. Leave it alone. It's popping up now. That doesn't tell me anything. Oh yes, it does. Beg your pardon. Just put the dollar index up in front of me on my other screen, and that's come off. The last 1, 2, 3, 4 hours, it's come off quite a bit. And that will obviously, if the dollar comes off, the dollar index that is comes off, it's a good tailwind for gold. And I think that's the reason why I've had a bit of a jump over the last hour or so. Is in fact the last couple of hours is simply because the US dollar's come off. Do you think it's worth chasing out? No. Do you think it's worth selling out? No. Do you think it's buying out? No. Do I think it's leave it alone territory? Yes, I do. Leave it alone. Okay. In the gold already, guys. Modify the stock. You should be in a profit. We took one out last week. In fact, we had a couple of gold trades and both stopped out in a profit. So if you're still in it, great. If you're not in, modify your stock so you can't lose in the trade. It was in the 1940s, both trades went out. And if you're in them, well, you're in a profit. What a pleasure. But I think just get your stop loss to protect. You don't be stuck in it when something goes wrong. Okay. Yeah, I still think it's till CPI changes the story. It's a $40 range. I see 40 to 80 as a dollar range. And I see to get a decent move back up again above 2000, it's got to take out the, in my opinion, sorry, not one here. It's got to take out this guy here. So it gets a hold above 1990. The next scene will be $10 away to 2000. If 2000 taken out, there'll be fundamental reasons behind it as well, not just technical. We'll be back in the gold bull trend, which I think is going to come about down the line. Okay. Okay. So otherwise, leave it alone. Are we all on the same page? Come to that in a minute, Zuzu. Are we all on the same page on that one? If you're in, protect yourself. Make sure you don't lose in the trade. You should be in a profit. If you're not in, don't get in now. Okay. At the moment, it might actually move up a little bit more because the dollar's coming off. How long that? I think it's just around a bit. Okay, right. Going back to, are we doing PPI? No. We're only going to do the CPI and the jobs report. The PPI is important. I'll give you a due, but it's not as important as CPI. CPI is more in your face inflationary. PPI to a certain extent is, but not as much so. And I've looked at it a couple of times, and then anyone else has done it privately, but we just don't get quite the jumps to make it worth the while. So only going to do those two going forward. Having said that, if you want to do it yourself, you understand the mechanics, you can do, of course, it's up to you, and be aware of it when it comes out. But to say there are a few things coming out from tomorrow onwards, which is going to make it difficult for trading because the those data economic releases have come about. Forget about technicals, the economic fundamental will push it either way quite extensively. Okay. Hope I answered your question. Good. That gave me good fun. Okay. Just want to make it clear why we have them. Because a lot of people say, interest rate support with everyone there. It's because the Q&A afterwards. So just guys, don't be entering a trade, especially dollar or gold and like that, or the NAS or anything like that, before the chairman of the Fed, in this case, Powell, starts his speech on interest rates. Anything can happen, as we found out in the past. And you often get ups and downs, big movements, ups and downs. Says one thing, another question comes out, and it reacts. It's a lot of emotion flying out there, and you get enormous reactions. But most of the time, I've been over the top, but still, is what it is. Okay. So yeah, just prepared for being fairly patient going forward. It's going to be fairly quiet, and yeah, for those reasons. Right. So, sorry, I think someone mentioned WI just now. Dow tip, we'll have a look. Where's that? Bloody hell, shit, you mean? Hey, yeah, fine. Bloody hell. Right. Coming up next month, I think I will mention that just in case you weren't. The OPEC meeting, when was it, last weekend? Not this one, just past, the one before. Decided to decrease oil production by another million. So there's 500,000, now another million has been added to it, making 1.5 from 2.5 million barrels a day down to 9 million. Now that reduction doesn't take place immediately. I'm not sure when it will happen. If you know what it is, let me know on the chat line here. But anyway, it's coming about in July. And then we got a bit of a decent jump and all. I think most guys are on board. That's fine. So it's starting to come off. Some bit profit taking, but the major fundamental reason. It's a bit of an economic slowdown in China, which is by far the biggest in the country. As a country, it's by far the biggest importer of oil in the world, big in Japan, I don't know, wherever. Because that slowdown eradicated some of the increase of oil due to the, told by OPEC, reduction in the production line. So bringing back to all that gabble there, so I just want to give you a bit of a background, so I went on a bit there. This is where Farley is coming from, and I have to say thanks. I didn't see that. Bloody hell, that's come off quite a bit. Surprised me a bit. So it's looking like it's now in a buy range. I've mentioned this many times. Producers don't want a $60 a barrel, $60 a barrel, and they don't want a sort of, shall we say, $90, because they don't want to cripple the world economy, and that because they want to sell their product, but they don't want to sell themselves short by having underpriced. It's still got themselves bills to pay. And OPEC might have a lesser problem than other oil producing countries, but if they're going to stick together as an organization, they've got to bear that in mind. Can't say, oh, we can carry it down there. Well, the other guys can't, and they'll start breaking up the OPEC community, which they don't want to do. Okay, because they're obviously OPEC is led by the Saudis. So yeah. Technically speaking, on that as well, how far down is that? $4. That's not bad. I thought it'd be further. That's not bad at all. That's 5. That's not going to work. You got to take, you can take it up to there. If you happen to take it up to there, remember it wasn't there since April. I said, no, end of April. What's that? May, month and a half, 6 weeks ago. So why couldn't it get back up there? But whether it gets there or not, as we all know, that's got to be your target to make it worthwhile. But a lot of guys will be out before then. some of them take profit too quickly. I've been on about that quite a lot. And sometimes you modify your stop protect, and quite right, you're stopped out in the profit because some incur to bring it back down. So be it. But yeah, I agree. Well, bloody spotted. Can we just quickly look at Brent first before I jump in on it? Might get a better one there. Where's $4 on here? See, that's only $3. Am I right? It might be a better bet, this one, because then we're looking at only $3 stop. Yeah, you see where I'm coming with, Fanian guys? Instead of having a $4 stop, why not have a $3? It makes far more sense. And then you have a tighter TP to make up for it. Let's see where we take it up there. Yeah, we can look at there's a TP. You see what I'm on about, Fanian? Good stuff, yeah. So good thing I checked it. I like it, but I prefer to do the Brent. No other reason, guys. No particular reason. It's just I'd rather have a $3 stop. And when was it last there at this level here? Look at the weekly here as well. And it's below the 200 times on the weekly, 200 weekly one. When was it last this level? Back in December 2021, not April or something like that. Look at the WTI again. See some here to make sure. Yeah, okay, to be fair, yeah, that would have still been about, yeah, okay. Yeah, the only difference is to say, okay, if you put it down there, we're talking nearly $5. So this seems to me the better bet. Okay. So I'm thinking I speak, if I sound like I'm rambling a bit. And I like to stop below the weekly, very strong area here. So yeah, well spotted. When you said, oh, ooh, and I looked to it, well, I'm fine to usually miss a trick. Let's have a look at it. So let's get this RR. Stop waffling, get the bloody RR up, Roger. Certainly can. Quite right. Put it down here. Make sure it's below on the weekly. Yeah, how far is that away? You can play with it a bit, get it further if you like. Make it a little bit further, hey? A little bit further. Quite a bit to play with here. Last, so you want to come down there and stop out. There you go. Yeah, that's fine. TP, how far is that? Make it there. Make it $80. What the hell? 80, sorry, me. That's great. I don't know. Sorry, guys. Quite right. Can we bring the ship in and get the R up? Thank you. I like it. Anyone else like it? Well spotted. Yeah. Even doesn't work out. I still say well spotted. I like it. I'm going to post this actually on the trading room group. Sorry. Manda likes it. Anybody else like it? Barney likes it. Anna Marie likes it. Anna Marie likes it. That's a good one. She doesn't jump in on pure emotion. She looks into it. That's good. 73.10. Let's write this down. 69.58. And that's around 80. Don't forget, look at the risk. It's only 65 Rand a micro. What a pleasure. So adjust your position size accordingly to having enough free margin and the risk on it. Don't forget, one size does not, repeat, does not fit all. Some might have 150 rand on micro one and maybe 30, 40 on another one. Just bear that in mind. Well spotted. Gertrude, good stuff. Hi, Gertrude, good to have you. Don't forget, guys, make sure if you like the trade, you get your position size, volumes correct, work it out properly, and for goodness sake, make sure you've got enough a free margin to take it. Okay, fantastic to get you tomorrow. Okay. Okay, are we all good? Right, you all got that? I presume I've got it written down. Panic. Let's have a look at the couple of trades going out this morning. Just quick recap on some of them. CAD CHF. Bubbling around. Just let it run. Okay, bit of a nuisance, but there it is. Right, look at the pound Swiss franc. It's right about the same, plus minus a little bit higher, not much in it. Pound CAD, couple of pips above entry. So if you didn't take it and you like it, well, then get a better price, go for it, market. NZD CHF. A little bit above, so if you didn't take that one and you do like it, get a better price. There we are. All pretty sideways, no panic of jobbers at the moment. Okay. All good, fantastic. Okay, right. I've done too badly today. Eurodollar. We'll also look at a buy. Shepo, you can with pleasure, but I'm a little bit wary of the dollar with these major fundamentals coming out in the next couple of days. Okay, that's my worry. Well, just be aware of that. Your choice, but at least be aware. If you've got the information, then you can make your choice. So I am not going to go for it because of that reason. But you're looking, it could go further up. So you think the dollar's a bit weak, which as a matter of fact, now you mentioned is a bit weak at the moment. So it could be a further move up. I'm not so sure I'd be taking it anyway. Technically speaking, it's a bit of a range trade. It's the top of the range at the moment. A couple of sales came in today already, Friday as they did. And of course, a couple came in on Thursday as well. You can see those wicks up there. I think it's going to probably sort of sideways drift around this sort of level. Yeah, it's only about 30 pip level. I think we're going to drift around that level over the next 24 hours or so. I personally strongly suggest you leave it alone. Not enough movement, plus major fundamentals coming out, so many unknowns, and there's not enough meat in the bones for why would you do it? It's just not enough meat on the bones at the moment to get your money tied up in something when anything could happen. The risk is far higher than any particular reward. It's not worth it. Okay, anybody disagree with that? Anybody think I'm talking balderdash and we should go for a buy on it? You'd agree then, okay, Bram. If anyone likes it, well, we can put R up for you guys. I've stated my case, but didn't stop you doing what you want to do. Okay. Good. Anything else, guys? Because I think I've run out. I'm not sure we get any more. We've got 4 out today. I'm not sure we'll find another one next couple of minutes or so. And as I say, we need to keep enough free margin to deal with the trades you're in, plus probably a few guys are still in trades from last week. Are you happy with that, Mandler? Good. Last week. I don't want to be pushing trades for the sake of it. Done a little bit better than I expected, actually. So let them run, give it a chance. Don't forget, guys, give the trade a chance. Try and ignore the up and down noise. Don't try not to stare all the time. Work out your moves correctly. Let the strategy do its thing, and don't take profit too quickly. Rather modify stop loss. We want guys to run with it. You know, you'll be selling short here, but you stop too close, you stopped out. Look what it came down over the next month or so, or a few weeks, whatever it is, a few days, I don't know. You get the idea. Give the damn thing a chance. Okay, you got my number. NZD CAD. You got my number, and you got DXY and that because you posted it. NZD CAD. Why does it do that? That's fine, Shepherd. So don't forget, like I mentioned, before we go to that, right click, go to templates and save your template. You can have as many as you like. Put your name in there, and you might put in John 1, John 2, John 3, John 4, as you save different ones. So if you do lose your charts by some fat finger or problem, I don't know, whatever reason, you can just go down and there they all are there, and you can click on them and up and run again. Don't forget, if you want any information on it, let's do the NZD. Can we go a moment? Highlight it, right click, left click specification, and the details are all there. You've got to understand the properties, what it means, because that is important. So there you are. The information is your fingertips. There has to be. So a lot of guys say, "Can you send me what margins are, or whatever?" Well, it has to be on there, so you can see it. Okay, right. NZD CAD. Yeah. Okay. Oh, I see. Yes, fair enough. Recap. No, having 5. If you're still in it, it's come up to resistance. I'm going to back the New Zealand dollar, sorry, the Canadian dollar against the New Zealand dollar, and it's clear in the sell zone. We don't know. The markets might do something crazy and push it up. I can then take a view. My view is, if you're still in it, I would be happy to be on the short side, not the long side at this particular case. We can look at the 15 minutes, see what the hell's happening. Probably be clearer. It's popping up, but it's got a bit of resistance there in the 15. A few sellers are coming in. Try the hourly, similar sort of situation. So you're still in it, hold it. Don't start moving your stop loss away, guys. If you get stopped out, you've got to swallow the pill. I've done. Don't try and say, I don't get stopped out, I'm moving away until you're in the financial dwang, until it goes against you. You work out your volumes for the stop loss. Play around with that. Yes, modify it to reduce risk, not to increase it. Very important. But stick with it, Cecil. Okay. My opinion, anyway, which you asked for. Okay, guys. Anything else before we wrap it up? Cheers, Brian. Got to run. A lot of guys, I think, already have done that. They've got stuff to do. That happens, of course. Yeah, I haven't really got much to add, but obviously it's up to you. If you do have something you want to look at quickly before we close up, obviously that's what we're here for. Anything else you want to just recap on before we close up, or are you all good? Let me know.
Hi, Raj. Just lastly, Tesla for a buy this afternoon.
Thank you. Funny enough, we're actually discussing that this morning in the 8:30 strategy room. My opinion is this: long term, if you've got a portfolio long term, I would be holding. I would be holding or even buying it. I'm bullish Tesla long term. In the short term, I'm not so sure. It might pull back a bit. I personally think the NAS is a bit on the high side. It will depend what happens to CPI, interest rates. There's an unknown at the moment, so I certainly wouldn't be joining this today at 3:30. If I were you, I'm certainly not going to. But I would not be surprised if we get a bit of a pullback before we get another move up. If you look at those candles, there's what, 3, 6, 9, 12. It's over 2 weeks. We haven't got any reds in there, so I think it's due for a bit of a pullback. So, but I wouldn't be selling it. I'd certainly wouldn't be buying anything with it at the moment. There's too many economic major data coming out which could affect it. But that apart, if it wasn't coming out, any major data coming out, I would probably think maybe sell a pullback or certainly get out if I'm long and buy up if it comes back a bit. So yeah, long term, absolutely. Shorter term, I think could get a bit of a pullback. I would, in other words, leave it alone, in my opinion. And keep warm, that's a good idea, Cecil. Thanks, exactly. Glad you enjoyed it. That's my opinion, Finey. What do you reckon?
No, thank you. I'm a little bit worried, but on the other hand, they're launching today at Ford in Germany this announcement with the electric vehicles and the top up together with Tesla and so forth. So
Okay.
I think both Tesla and Ford have an opportunity to
Very much.
increase the prices.
Very much so. In fact, she was just, Clinton was talking about that with me on Friday or Thursday, wherever it was. And he again was talking about going into a biotest on that fundamental news. Well, number one, the fundamental news is already out. So a lot of that stuff is already discounted in the market. Where the whole amount's been discounted, not the story. Sometimes the markets can be a bit slow to react. But remember that now is news that's already been released, so everybody knows about it. Don't forget, guys, no such thing as a no-brainer, as I mentioned before. But yeah, that we were discussing, I think, on Thursday, Friday, that factor. So yeah, as I say, long-term, absolutely. But I think in the short-term factor, we still could get a bit of a pullback, profit-taking, nothing else, and it will be affected by the economic fundamentals coming out tomorrow and Wednesday. So sorry if I'm wrong, it does jump up to 300, you're not on board, but personally speaking, I would just stay clear of it at the moment. For that reasons. Okay. But bear in mind what he said, guys. Yeah, it's looking good as regards the electric motor vehicles and Ford as well, and Tesla going forward. So yeah, if you have enough money and you want a long-term portfolio, Tesla's the guy to have. Agree. Okay.
Thanks, Roger. Thanks.
Thank you. Thank you. Excellent question, as always. Oh, yeah, just go back and see if your excellent trade idea is working out well. If it isn't, it's all Farney's fault. He's a, oh God, it might be doing well. No, this is my trade idea. Well done, Roger. What a great trade. If you check the price first to find out who to blame, will take the accolade. So the host
Well
gets
done, Roger.
Yeah, and if it goes wrong, it's Farney's fault. It's an agreement we have. No, but joking apart, it's looking good so far. We've got in round about this figure here. I think it's starting to try to move back up again, so let's keep our fingers crossed on it. Nicely spotted, whatever happens. Okay. All right, guys. Yeah, I'll catch you tomorrow morning. and they catch you 2 o'clock tomorrow afternoon. And don't forget Friday, it's going to be Youth Day. So Farney and I have to be working. I'm just joking. You like that, Farney? Old buggers have got to continue working. But no, it's Youth Day, so we won't have any training room or class or anything like that. Okay. See you tomorrow. All toppage days on Monday, so Fanny and I are taking our day off on Monday, just so you all know. Cheers, guys. On that bit of rubbish, I thought I'd just let you stick with that one. Cheers. Cheers. Cheers, Cheers, man.